guys? I've been good. Today is January 6th of 2025. It is also 12:35 in the morning and I'm recording. I don't know, man. It's something about staying up late and recording. It's quiet. No one bothers you. The world is sleeping. And also, I work the night shift, so staying up this late is nothing. So this is great, I don't know. But I actually want to get started into today's video. I don't want to do too much talking here. I want to do talking when the video is playing. But we're going to be reacting to BOBBI ALTHOFF podcast apparently falling off. So this guy named Sunny V2, he is a YouTuber. He makes like these documentaries, which I really like. And so I'm going to react to one of his videos about BOBBI ALTHOFF. And before, I just want to put a disclaimer before I even go into the video. I want to say, I don't like to say somebody's fall off because stuff happens in life. You get what I'm saying? Life happens and sometimes you may need a little break off of social media. So I'm guessing that's what it was. And I see her and I see BOBBI on Instagram and I see BOBBI on YouTube platform and she's still doing her thing. She's just, I didn't see her post a podcast in a very long time, but she's still active on social media. So I don't want to say that she really actually fell off. So let's just put that disclaimer out there. But let's get into the video, all right?
BOBBI ALTHOFF's really good podcast started extremely strong, gaining millions of views with unique celebrity interviews. However, in just a year and a half, her viewership has basically flatlined, with almost 300,000 people agreeing, "I've never seen an industry plant fall off harder than she did." Her career began on TikTok in 2021, making dry, sarcastic content on the topic of being a mother. She'd make only 26 videos before beginning the really good podcast, to which she'd adapt her dry, sarcastic style.
I think we look alike. Kind of, but not really. A little. You're like me in a different font.
The snippet quickly racked up almost 10 million views. The style was an instant success. This entire interview is like the calmest argument in history and I love it. The snippets from her next episode went equally viral.
The clips did really, really well on TikTok. So I was like, okay, I guess I have something here.
But it was the episode with Funny Marco that completely changed everything. Because not only did the segments again...
Am I bugging? I remember there was a time where she did a podcast with Drake, and that's how I knew her. I knew her from when she was in the bed. It was because it was a weird setup. It was Drake and her in a bed together, and they had a podcast, mic, and they was talking to the camera. That's how I knew of BOBBI. So I guess people knew her from Funny Marco. I knew her from the Drake.
Pull crazy numbers, but the full episode gained over 5 million views without a single hate comment anywhere in sight. It's rare that two people I've never heard of make me laugh for an hour straight. This was special. This is hilarious. Marco has found the white woman version of himself. This should be a permanent duo. This is just the most cross-cultural, funny, awkward humor. People loved the honest branding of new episode whenever I can get someone to agree to let me interview them, the next of which being a very important person.
My video with Marco went very
Yes,
viral,
yeah.
very viral. Then Drake liked one of the videos I had uploaded and he followed me.
BOBBI therefore tried to get him on.
I'm gonna shoot my shot to Drake. So I was like, when are you gonna come on my podcast?
And he just was
He said,
game right
yeah,
away.
he was ready to do it.
Landing Drake as her 4th ever podcast guest. From an entertainment
Look how, you get what I'm saying? That's how I knew BOBBI ALTHOFF from the Drake. Because, it's a weird setup. Why are they both in bed? You get what I'm saying? That's weird. So that's how I knew them. Or knew her.
Point, the episode was basically perfect. Not only had she landed Drake, who never does podcasts, but she'd done so in a funny, intimate setting, whilst keeping it calm and relaxed, to the extent that people thought they were just old friends.
The fact that you were so calm next to Champagne Poppy, because if I was in a bed next to Drake, I would be freaking out.
It therefore gained 10 million views in only 2 weeks, and added 700,000 subscribers to BOBBI's total count. However, as summarized by a tweet reading, "Drake giveth and Drake taketh away," BOBBI's interview with Drake began to ruin her reputation. During the podcast, BOBBI had asked,
Am I your type?
I'd do it.
Thank you.
And when Drake said that BOBBI should get with his friend, she seemed kind of interested.
If I could hook you up with anyone, it would be my dog Smigs.
Smigs?
Smiley.
Can you tell me about Smiley?
Want me to show you a picture of him?
Is he well known, or are you just a friend of yours?
The Funny Marco interview had a similar interaction,
Are you hitting on me?
You're not my type.
What's your type?
with Bobbi stating she started the podcast for the following reason.
To have a way to meet people, and the podcast, I was like, I wish I could have collaborate with other people.
Meeting new people likely wasn't sinister, but flirting with famous musicians seemed to annoy her husband, who filed for divorce only 6 days after she recorded the podcast with Drake. To make matters worse, Bobbi also admitted,
I flew all the way here
You did. I really do appreciate
on my
that.
daughter's first birthday
You missed your daughter's first birthday.
to be here.
Regret that you'll never be able to undo.
Yeah.
Horrible parenting.
showing she was kind of ditching her family for social media fame.
Is it kind of strange to anyone else that this woman who is married with children is constantly asking during these interviews with these rappers if basically they would go out with her, if basically they would
Word. I never peeped it until now. For real, that is kind of weird.
sleep with her if they like her?
She'd confirmed the divorce in a TikTok post, with comments stating celebrity status always ruins the best things in life. On Reddit, people stated, she got famous and he stayed the same. Few marriages survived that, whilst the rumors likely didn't help. Did Bobbi Althoff cheat with Drake quickly became a mainstream narrative. Suggesting a conspiracy was when Bobbi deleted the podcast, with Drake and Bobbi both unfollowing each other on Instagram. Dave Portnoy from Barstool Sports therefore sent her a text. My girlfriend says you hooked up with Drake and got divorced. I am saying that is not true. Bobbi replied, I'm not commenting publicly but off the record. You're right, that is not true. She'd share the text to her story adding, I did not want to do this podcast in the first place, and now so much negativity is coming from it. I'm going to leave it alone after this, but this is the uncensored DM between Dave and I, although despite denying the rumors, the narrative was set. Bobbi Althoff left her husband to thot around with rappers.
Would you date someone that looks like me? Because there's just a person
What does that mean?
looks exactly like me. They have a twin.
Maybe.
If I had a twin,
Maybe.
would you date them?
If she was cool and
The damage this did to Bobbi's image could be seen on her husband's Instagram, with comments reading, sorry that your ex sold you out for clout and fame, after which everything Bobbi did became some kind of drama. For example, she'd do a podcast with Lil Yachty, with people calling her ungrateful after she said this.
I walked into his
Well, I
house and it
kinda
was super awkward because
those, though.
he's really kind of awkward. He didn't even say hi to me. He's just sitting there with his two assistants, and then he comes up, he's like, oh hi, gives me a half hug, and I'm just like, hi, then goes back to his spot, and I'm like, dude, I don't even want to do this. I'm texting my friend Ashley, I need to leave, this is so awkward, I don't want it, what am I doing here?
She wants to make awkward content and then puts Yachty on blast. Shaking my head. Gave her a platform and now she's shitting on y'all. See what happens? People then claimed that her fast rise to fame was orchestrated by her management company,
I'm pretty sure somebody at WME started help pulling the strings to set all this in motion.
who also managed some of the people who appeared on Bobbi's show.
Well, you got a great agent, and you got a great agency, and you got great guests.
Bobbi simply trolled the claims, but there were other inconsistencies. For example, she constantly claimed that she was broke
People think I'm joking about being in debt. I'm not. I put every penny I had into this podcast.
and told Mark Cuban this.
I don't have any money
None?
at all. I have debt, actually.
You have debt? How much debt do you have?
$20,000 of debt.
Then further added in her Rick Glassman podcast.
Every time a credit card maxes out, I have
An
to
angel
switch
gets
to
his
another.
wings.
I have 2 cards maxed out right now, so hoping to pay them off soon.
However, people realized she spent $500 on Chloe sandals. She is not broke, she is broken. Also noting that her husband was a millionaire
How they know that?
who had 170,000 students who'd bought his $43 course. Eventually, Bobbi also revealed that the podcast wasn't serious.
So when you interview these people, you're not Bobbi necessarily.
No, yeah, I'm just a really dry person.
Deleting more of the magic that first made her interesting. We mentioned that when she first interviewed Marco, there were no negative comments. However, 3 months later when Reddit asked thoughts on Bobbi Althoff, there wasn't a single positive comment. Annoying ASF and not funny at all. I can't stand her, don't find her funny, and find it odd that rappers are always her target to pick on like she's better than them. Gives me the ick. I watched a few of her interviews. I just don't find her
Yo, I feel like they reading too much into it. I feel like they're reading too much into it. Oh my gosh, yo, social media could be a gift and it could be a curse at the same time. And this just proving my point. They're reading too much into this. It's not even like that. All of a sudden now she's picking on rappers. No, that's not even the case whatsoever. Like, what the hell?
Funny or charismatic enough to pull off the shtick. I can see why she's popular though. This kind of awkward cringe humor is having a moment. Only 4 days after that Reddit thread, it was reviewed as the not so really good podcast, which stated the content itself is boring. The episodes also lack direction and a central theme, probably because they only consist of small talk. The podcast fails to deliver anything substantial or thought-provoking. Instead, it provides a glimpse into how celebrities behave in casual settings, which may seem intriguing to some, but ultimately failed to engage me. Another person said that Bobbi's podcast sadly points out how real hip-hop journalism has been practically erased, while even Funny Marco began to critique her show.
With me, it was like, I think you're funny, Marco, but let me learn about you. Like, trying to figure me out. But now it's like the interviews, I think they're like, she's trying to shit on people. And when I watched the interview with Offset, I was like, damn, that was pretty bad.
As mentioned, she was plain disrespectful during her podcast with Offset, leading him to respond with similar energy.
You need a little bit of seasoning. You ain't got no seasoning, man. You like a plain piece of chicken just on the thing, you pull it off, and then you serve the dish.
It seemed this was where many people quit watching Bobbi's show, aided by full podcast episodes that were just promoting products. In the process, she'd also change her appearance, leading to criticism bad enough for Bobbi to respond.
I am so tired of all of the comments of people saying she ruined her face. The only thing I have done to my face is that I have a little bit of filler in my upper lip, okay? I do not have cheek filler.
In a different video, she talked about getting other procedures.
I went in to get my zit injected and I left with Botox in my forehead, which, you know, that's fine, that's normal. I had lines here. I also didn't like that this would crease so much and I'd smile, so I got under eye filler. So I got Botox injected right here.
Which, perhaps unfairly, has only led to even more hate. Her 15 minutes are up. Bye, Bobbi. I am so tired of Bobbi. Get off the internet, boring. The last couple of months, however, have been even worse. For starters, the style of the podcast has changed.
I was waiting for him to post like a video with Suki, cause Suki's my girl. and I low key like Suki and Bobbi together as a duo. I prefer them than the Funny Marco and her. Them two right here. Yo, you gotta watch their videos so you know what I'm talking about.
The dry, sarcastic humor has become normal conversation, and all the awkward, quiet moments are often removed in editing. Strangely, however, this only makes it even more awkward and less entertaining, as it feels like any other normal podcast.
How old are you?
Me, I'm 21.
You're 21?
Yeah.
Oh, you're so young.
I'm a baby still.
Wait, I didn't realize you were so young. I thought we were the same age. Now I feel really old.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
You're not really old.
This entire interview feels like they are making small talk while waiting for something. She'd also do an episode with Dax Flame, in which she was way ruder than any other podcast.
What is something fun that makes interviewing someone fun for you?
Just having good conversation.
Okay, yeah, I love good conversation.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't tell.
This genuinely was not even an interview. This was like bullying the
Yo, bro, they read it too That was funny. They read it too much into this, bro, because that was funny. Yo,
nice kid.
People are so sensitive, dog.
And making him feel horrible in any way. Then 2 months ago, she did this video here, which, judging by the dislike ratio, was yet another doozy.
And then I saw this video of a girl talking about how much she made from her podcast, and I mentally decided that she made like at least $300 a year on her podcast alone, and I was like, that's what I need to do next. Like, I need a podcast.
I saw how much someone made and thought, that's what I need to do. Wow, what a passionate and inspiring individual. Toward the start of her career, Bobbi joked, not more money though, and that's all that matters in the world, but it seems that's now her actual philosophy.
I didn't grow up with money. I am on a lifelong journey to get money. I love
money's nice.
It's amazing.
Ever since doing
What's wrong with that though? Like, nah, honestly, like, let me know. What's wrong with that? Like, what's wrong with being inspired by also the financial gain you get from social media? If that makes any sense. What was wrong with that? I feel like a lot of people there are some parts of them that come into this industry, into this business for the money, and also with like, you know, just the interest of what am I trying to say? Like the interest of also like doing something they love, but also like the money could be a factor too. Like what's wrong with like what's wrong with that? Like what's wrong with coming in there just for the money? Like so what? I don't know.
In the interview, Bobbi's viewership has significantly slowed. Her reputation is far from perfect.
I don't know, y'all. Final thoughts on that video. Do I think she fell off? I'm going to go back to what I said earlier. I don't think she fell off. I think she's still active. I just feel like the negative is overtaking the positive, and that's why it may seem like she fell off. But she's still active on social media, like on TikTok and on Instagram. I still see her post all the time. She's always with Suki, so I don't think she really fell off. It's sad that like hate could hate, like, yo, social media is a gift and a curse. It is honestly a gift and a curse, and sometimes the hate overshadows the positivity. And there go your proof. This video right here kind of showed the proof that, like, yo, that the hate took over. Yeah. Anyways, but that's it for today's video. I'll see you guys next time. Make sure you love, live, and be happy. That's the quote for today. Love, live, and be happy. Bye.